Hi, it's Marc Carriere here. I'd like to take a few minutes to talk to you about getting first things done first. For example, what's your break-even point? Before I spend a lot of time developing a direct marketing plan or budget, I'll generally do what I call the pencil test first. The pencil test is a simple overview exercise I always employ to find what response I need to achieve just to cover my costs of break-even. What I'm looking to see is where the break-even point is in terms of response to determine if the campaign has even half a chance of being profitable. If I've got half a chance of making the campaign successful, then I'll spend the time and energy to develop a campaign plan or budget. If the results of the pencil test show me that the response I'll need is just not realistic, based on previous experience, I'll go back to the drawing board and rethink the whole approach. Believe me, it's much better to find this out first before you put a lot of time and energy into a losing proposition. Before you start the pencil test, you should know what your general overhead and production costs are per unit sold. Once you have these figures in order, do some simple calculations based on the anticipated response rates to calculate your break-even point. Coming up soon is a graph that you'll see on your screen. That's a simple one that I've put together for a direct mail campaign. You can use this format just as easily for any type of direct response campaign, and depending on what your matrix are, you can change this as you need for other mediums. So you can see what I've done here is I've got a series of rows with mail quantities. So there's 10,000 pieces of mail that we're going to go out. Then I've got the anticipated response, which I've ranged from 1/4% right up to 2%. Then based on that simple calculation of the mail quantity times the response rate, how many inbound callers or responders am I going to get? Anticipate a close percentage of say 60%. In your situation it might be higher or lower. And then that will tell me how many sales I get. Average sales price I know, so I plug that in, and the average sales price times the sales number gives me the sales revenue. Now when I look at the sales and marketing costs, for mail, just for this exercise, I put the cost per mail piece at $1, and that's all inclusive of letter shop, lists, envelopes, printing, postage, all those things. I've also put an estimated cost per sale of $65, and that's based on a operator hour basic rate of $45 per operator hour, just to have somebody in the seat, and all the costs associated with that to cover those costs. Now I've got product cost. I've established that to be $150 per sale for this exercise. Again, this is something you need to determine with your finance department. Make sure you've got that right. Also with your overheads, I've put them down at $10 per sale. Just for this exercise, again, you need to check that with your finance department. Make sure you've got that figure right. Total cost is simply adding up all those costs based on the response rate. You get your total costs, and then your cost of sale is basically dividing your total cost by each sale, and your total cost per sale percentage is the total costs as a percentage of the actual revenue. So as you can see in the first case, 0.25% isn't going to work. As I've highlighted in yellow, say for example your cost per sale you can live with at 52%, well that's your break-even point. So what you've got to ask yourself is, if I get a 1% response rate, is that realistic, and can I make this campaign work from there? And if you feel you can get 1% or better, then you should be looking at developing your campaign and your marketing plan for that. In the scenario above, I've highlighted the break-even point in yellow. This assumes a 52.22% cost of sale works in this situation. Of course, the other key metrics aside from the response percentage, close percentage, and average sales price should be representative of what you usually experience. You need to resist the temptation to play too much with these metrics just to make the numbers work. The question you have to ask yourself is, will I really get at least a 1% response? If you can put your hand on your heart and swear that you can do better than 1%, then it's time to put your campaign budget together. Okay, thanks a lot. I hope you found this useful. Any of the templates that I've displayed, budget templates and things like that, they're all available on my blog, so I invite you to go there and you can download them from my blog or find a link to them, and you can reach that at www.whatsaleadworth.com. Or simply send me an email if you're on LinkedIn. You'll find me there, Marc Carriere, Marc Carriere. Good luck and have fun. Bye.